slide that's not there would have said who or what's in charge. And I apologize for my voice. It just means I have to speak for only an hour rather than 2. But this morning I wanted to, in our series, The Basics, talk about our concept of God. Because as I mentioned last week, how we see ourselves, self-image, is important because it influences how we relate to the world. How we see God also relates to how we interact with the world. And it can be very interesting because the word God itself is so loaded with emotion and with history within ourselves and with other people that it's a word that very often you will find in New Thought Ancient Wisdom we will use other terms such as universal intelligence or source. But ultimately, the idea that there is a presence and power in the universe that is all there is. But it can be difficult. I remember a woman coming to me years ago at the end of my church service, and her saying to me, "Will you please pray for me?" And I told her, yes, I pray for her. We discussed her situation. And she finished telling me that, and I said, "You may also pray for yourself." Her response to me was, "No, I can't, because God is not listening to me right now." And as we continued to talk, I was familiar with her father. And I said to her, "Well, how's your father doing?" "Well, my father's not speaking to me either." And both of them, in her mind, God and her father, were not speaking to her because of choices and decisions she'd made, the very same ones. And when I tried to point out to her, well, you're making your father and God to be the same, she wouldn't hear of it. She thought it was a crazy idea. But it's not unusual. While the scriptures remind us that we were made in the image and likeness of God, we have been making God in our image and likeness for centuries now. And what she had done was a very simple word. It sounds complex, but she had anthropomorphized God. She had given God human characteristics, human sensibilities, human identity, human understanding. God gets mad. God gets upset. God punishes. All those things without recognizing that God is more than we can make God out to be. When I was growing up, I was involved in what was known as Christian Youth Fellowship. And there was a woman who taught us young children. And the concept of God she instilled in us. God was always watching us. God was always keeping track of all the bad stuff we did. He was writing it down on chalkboard. And if we asked for forgiveness, it would be erased. But she warned us. If we got caught when the end of the world came, and we hadn't asked for forgiveness, whatever was on that chalkboard would be held against us. And then she went on to talk about the end of the world. what it would be like. And this loud noise, the trump of the angel announcing the end of the world. And for several years as a child, anytime there was an extremely loud noise, I would panic, thinking, this is it. I hope I got everything erased off my board, so I'm not punished for it. And there was a particular day in the town where I lived, there was a fireworks factory that had a major explosion. And I don't think I was right for about 2 days. Thinking it was the end of the world. But the idea that God is somehow calculating, keeping score, and punishing us. But I'd like to say that God is loving. We sometimes make God into a noun, but God's not a noun. A noun doesn't really exist. A noun is something that you can take, carry with you places, set it down places, but it has no true existence other than what we give to it. That's why you have some people who talk about God only being present at church or in other places. We've got to come into the presence of God. But ultimately, God is a verb. God is loving. When we try to define God, define means cutting away, literally. So we take away from God. God is limitless. God is infinite. God is not a man sitting in the sky somewhere with a long white beard, white skin, privilege, anything else. God is not male nor female. God is spirit. God is loving. When I talk about God being a verb, it's an illustration I'd like to use. What is this? Fan. But what we really are after is not the fact that it's a fan, but the action of fanning. The verb, the action, fanning. And when we realize that, I can just as easily do this. What's this? It's an envelope. It allows me to fan. What's this? The whole country fan. But it's the action that we're concerned with God, because God is loving. God continues to express love to each and every one of us. I'm going to cut things short, but I didn't know that Judy this morning was going to be from Alice Walker. But what sums up for me the words, the lyrics from the play, The Color Purple, by Alice Walker, book by Alice Walker. And Suge is talking. And Suge says, God ain't some gloomy old man like the pictures you see. God ain't a man at all. God is inside of you and everyone else that was or ever will be. You come into this world with God, but only them who look inside find it. God's the flowers and everything else that was or ever will be. And when you feel the true soul rhythm, and when you love the way you feel, we have found it. Peace and blessings.
The art form of jazz is something that I feel needs to be revered and treasured by everyone here. And it's not every day that we can hear this great music. That's why I try to make sure I can hopefully do my part and bring some artists for you at least once a year. So today, I'm very happy to introduce a very talented individual. She's a graduate of Southside High School and the University of Memphis, where she pursued a Bachelor's of Music degree and has received numerous awards. She's performed in the All-American Olympic Band at the Games of the 23rd Olympiad in Los Angeles. She performed in the Presidential Inaugural Band in 1984. She played trombone at the Temple of Deliverance and acted as the interim conductor under the leadership of G.E. Patterson. She's also performed with such artists as, maybe you're familiar with Lou Rawls, Isaac Hayes, the OJs, Michael McDonald, Aretha Franklin, Gladys Knight and the Pips, to name a few. She's performed as a recording artist with our great Phineas Newborn, and she's performed at the Porretta International Soul Festival and the Persichera Sweet Soul Fest in Italy. She has taught in our public school system and continues to perform in various venues, most recently at the Tunica Resort with the great Immortal Temptations. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a great open heart welcome for Miss Brenda Rutledge.
Thank you.